Envy can't lose. This squad of 5 ranked psychopaths have been tearing up Tier 2 Valorant, and they've set their eyes on franchising. They can't stop winning! Reyna, Clove, ISO, these are ranked agents, not pro play. How on God's green earth are these guys dominating so much by treating every match like they're queuing comp? Can you actually go pro by mindlessly spamming ranked? Or one-tricking your favorite agent? Yes! Take everything you know about professional Valorant and throw it in the garbage, because watching this team will drive you nuts! Have you ever wondered why duelists in your game just run it down and die within the first 10 seconds of the round? Well, it's because they're racing to play War Thunder, the sponsor of this video. Duh. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever and is now on PC, consoles, and mobile devices for free. Command over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, from biplanes and armored cars to modern jets and tanks. War Thunder's incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects will immerse you so hard that you'll forget about your stupid duelists. Now, my favorite part is that War Thunder has an in-depth customization system with countless camos, historical markings, and decorations for all types of vehicles, including community-created ones. So play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile now by using my link in the comments or description. New and returning players on PC and consoles that haven't played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across all platforms that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. It's only available for a limited time, so be quick and click that link. This is Envy. Everyone, say hi, Envy. Hi, Envy. In case you haven't watched my past 2 breakdowns on these guys, let me get you up to speed on the team. Let's start with Ion and Kinzera. These two are essentially those smurfing duelists you get in your games, spam report, and nothing gets done about them. The only difference is that they aren't ruining your silver lobbies, but instead tier 2 professional matches. Then you have Poppin, who's basically one of the first 2 guys I just talked about, but can IGL, and is really smart. Finally, we have Exter and Inspire. These guys are the absolute best Cypher and Euro players in the world. They each have thousands upon thousands of hours sunken into mastering and perfecting their respective agents. Also pile on the fact that each of these players have hit #1 Radiant multiple times, or top 10 on different accounts simultaneously, and you have a team that is on their way to franchising the highest level of Valorant, just by playing a shit ton of ranked. There was even a time where 4 of their 5 players rounded out the top of the ranked leaderboard. But can their pug monkey plays hold up in tier 1? Well, only time will tell. It's pistol round on map 4 of the stage 2 NA Challengers Grand Finals. Every game in this series has either gone to overtime or have been really close. Ambrosia are no joke and have been Envy's toughest opponents yet. So what's their plan to open map 4? Well, in their 1-3-1, Yoru is going to fight B long, these 3 mid, and Inspire has a nasty setup to anchor A that I'll break down later. And now their opponents are just slamming B. Wait, is that a Reyna? Okay, so Envy love running Yoru every map, combined with either a Clove, ISO, or here, a Reyna. Those 3 agents have some of, if not the lowest pick rates in professional Valorant, as others just offer more flexibility in a team-based environment. But why do Envy pick them so often? Well, think about it. These guys were adopted by Ranked, born in it, molded by it, and in Ranked, Reyna is by far the most picked agent as she can punish poor spacing and fundamentals, both of which are rampant in comp. Y'all are horrible. So if you have a player who's poured millions of hours into queuing Ranked and has hit rank 1 multiple times by spamming this specific agent, why handcuff him and force him to play, I don't know, Viper? Plus, Reyna isn't that bad on this map. Her Leers cover these long sightlines on B, and her Dismiss is the perfect duration to duck into cover on either site. Reyna's actually pretty good, especially with this guy piloting her. Okay, enough yapping, pistol round. The game begins and Kinzera just swings out double doors instantly. And now normally this is a horrible idea, as this angle is just going to get you spammed or you'll just die. And pushing mid is also a bad time, as you're putting yourself in the middle of a natural crossfire. But as the round started, Poppin ripped a shotgun to market, which would force any attackers here to take a step back and allow Kinzera to isolate top mid, get one in an unexpected fight, and get out safely. This time, no one's here, but will it work later? In the meantime, Exer has gotten into Cubby with his gate crash headed towards site, but there's 5 people coming at him.
Right, these 2 teams, are getting in lockstep with one another. But Extra, very happy to have a freebie now, falls back to halls and calls.
Now, I'm not sure why Ambrosia picked this map. There could be 100 different reasons, but what I do know is that this is Yoru's best map. Because of his gate crash, he's able to play anywhere on B-Long and get out with his life. No other agent in the game has this type of flexibility. Then pile on the fact that he can push mid and TP out to counter this natural crossfire. His flashes can hit both sides, and they're just good. His decoy can travel all the way down long to break trips or trigger walls. They're just good. And his ult is great and can farm orbs on either side. But what I'm saying is that this is Extra's home turf, and Ambrosia are already down a player. Good on Extra to fire a few shots into a smoke when nothing is happening around the map. The attackers had to be here. Now, with no other map control, the offense are forced to run it down B, but look at Kane's era. 10 seconds in, and he's already this deep on a flank. He has the offense trapped, and he triggers Vice's wall. How deep is he going?
They are surrounded right now, Ambrosia. I mean, he just needs to not overpush this, yeah, and he makes the right decision. He's just going to back off.
Now, in ranked, players will have a round-winning flank, like, all the time, but throw it away by taking unnecessary fights and pushing too far. But if they stay alive, the defense can have a solid read on what the offense are doing and suffocate them. But by being one of the best ranked players alive, Kane's era backs down, and Poppin comes out from door to help him get out. Now, Ambrosia take a second to retrace their footsteps and make sure they've cleared out this pesky Reyna. She's not shops, spawn, she was top mid with Poppin holding for him. I mean, it's good to get proactive with the double duelist comp, but they both back down after the map has gone so silent. Ambrosia could be gearing up to do anything. So with the defense tucked back into spawn, the offense elect to regroup back towards B, but leave Yoru inserted at a mid to try and find the equalizer on some rotates. But without a space maker, how are Ambrosia getting on the site?
Need to backstab Link.
Hey, Cliff's gonna TP up the tower here. Extra calls it, he's heard it. Poppin able to turn around, deal with satellite there over through mid, and here's the drop down. Cliff falls.
Ah, teleporting into your heaven smoke. That's how. But Poppin expected Satellite's lurk, and Omen's entry job just wasn't good enough. Poppin's gotten two, and time's winding down. Acreon has to plant.
All things considered, very, very clean pistol here. That Shocky doesn't quite catch on Acreon.
One enemy.
He drops either way. Kane Zero finishes him off.
On their eco, Ambrosia did great to try and close the distance with their bunch of smokes against the Outlaw. They pulled back the Ramstar, smoked for the choke to sight, but Extra jumped on screen and got one, which really isn't a play you should make if you're not Yoru or playing against actual guns. It's a ranked play. The pistols got farmed, but I wanted to take the time to talk about Ambrosia's comp, mainly Omen. He's not that bad on this map, it's just that Astra fits it way better. He's got versatile teleport to take different fights or entry if need be, extra smokes are always good, but his paranoia is the best ability in all of Valorant, and teams are finally starting to realize it. It is a big-ass, undodgeable flash that covers half of sight, and you can barely hear it coming. That's why we're seeing teams run him an Icebox now, and I guess Pearl. Omen is just too versatile not to run. His ult isn't even that bad. You can literally put yourself in the enemy spawn. So don't be surprised if he gets nerfed soon. Regardless, it's the first full buy, and you're about to see one of the most mind-numbing rounds of Valorant you've ever seen. Envy are spread in a 2-1-2 setup where Astra and Sova are holding on to A main, they're gambling aren't open, Inspire's holding street with this annoying trip, but Reyna's now with Yoru. For the first two rounds of this game, Extra has been fighting Belong all by himself, but for Ambrosia's first full buy, Reyna's come over to join the fun, which is fine, but with a judge? What? Well, their plan is to have Extra bait 4 Zera so we can get up close to this Ramstar and probably get, I don't know, 2. Who does shit like this? But will it work? Ambrosia is defaulting across the map in a 2-1-2 and might not even find out that Reyna's doing this. The barriers fall and the round begins pretty quietly. Vice slaps his flower down to re-clear mid later, and Ion smokes deep on A. But Reyna, how far are you going?
And having Extra on the line with the Outlaw so Kane can get up really close with the judge. No way he's just going out in the open.
Kane's stuck. He chucks a Lear to buy extra time to come help, but then he goes down. Ion smokes for him to get out, but Kane's getting shot, thorned, stunned, reconned. How does he get out?
What? Kane's been lit and he has no way out, of course. He's playing bloody Reyna, folks, so he is committed.
What?
Yep. Dismiss away, come back for more. That's the Kane Zero way.
And he goes back for more?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I mean, what else could he do with this shotgun, but is that not a play you make in ranked? When you're smurfing? Not during the grand finals of challengers? Regardless, Ambrosia are up, but feel like because the defense fought so hard on B, A has to be weak, right?
As the dust settles, there's a fight here over towards A main, brewing, popping. Too clean. Oh, I love that. That is a nasty Nova Pulse from
This
Ion.
isn't honest.
That was the right reaction. On defense, usually there is a strong, more aggressive side and more passive side that holds map control or anchors and buys time for rotates. It's just that the offense didn't expect Envy to be playing this far up, as Sova and Astra especially. Okay, now mid has to be pretty open. 2B, 2A, so Vice walks through the double door, snaps Inspire's cam, moves up, and then his trip. And now because Envy are spread thin, they drop back into the most important parts of the map, elbow and dugout. As an attacker, you need these in order to hold sight in the post plant and set up crossfires. So as the defense, you want to prioritize these bits when retreating. I explained that more in this video. But the attackers have decided to group up and head to one of the best site anchors in the business.
Inspires on the right angle.
30
Not
seconds.
going to fight
Doesn't
that.
try and challenge that. Razorvine removed as well, so we could repost this line whenever. Next trying to walk into it.
Oh, the ping.
Yep. Bottled out. Now Welly's position has definitely been taken note of. Pretty bloody good bonus round from Team Envy. Welly gonna get tinged here by the Shocky. He'd like to get out of here with this. Poppin is
Yeah, these guys are ranked specialists, but this type of support is insane. Inspire's first cage deterred a push just long enough for Poppin's dart to land, helping them bag the first kill, then Ion's Gravwell activated right as Welly tried pushing into elbow, forcing him to save. Now, if Arena running it down B long with a judge and getting 1.5 in a tier 2 pro game wasn't funny enough for you, watch this. It gets worse. And now, even though Ambrosia lost the first full buy, Envy are still taking this round seriously. Cypher's moved his entire setup to B, and this could be for one of two reasons. First, Yoru soloed B most of these rounds so far, so the attackers might think that they can just push him back and run it down B. Having two trips here gives extra a safety net to fall back onto. Or two, Ambrosia ran it down B on their first eco, so they might do it again. Now, with a couple of them on B, 2 on double doors, A's being left open to retake after playing so far up last round. Will this double door peek shot from pistol round work here? Maybe. Ambrosia are splitting A in a 2-3. Round 4 starts with the offense barreling down A behind a Paranoia and Recon.
looking like an A main plane plays the plan, excuse me, but a lot of stalling.
It worked! A Pop and Shock created the timing for Reyna to peek top mid, and she's got one. And now since the defense pushed mid, the offense feel like they have an opening to push A.
Alright, Kane. Fine, brother. Peek up there with the dismiss away. Oh, Acreon!
Well, that didn't work. Maybe it's hindsight, but Cliff probably should have teleported to default instead to create the space, then go hunting with the rest of his team. Think about it. The defender has to aim at him, or the guy following up. But wait, look at Shondex!
Oh, no.
Yeah, Cliff TPing forward. Okay, Shondex. Beautiful couple of shots. Earns himself that steel garden. Welly with the rifle he kept from the previous round has paid off. Why are we pushing into this line?
We are just swinging.
How on earth did we go from this to this? I know you guys are a bunch of ranked duelists, but Jesus! One of the biggest skills to have in order to rank up is being able to use your minimap. Whether it's to see what your teammates are seeing if they're not coming, control where you spray through a smoke, or know when and where it's safe to rotate. Zera here didn't even bother looking at Art, even though that's the one spot he should be looking at. Then Ion swinging before Poppin's ready, and Inspire is walking around with his knife out? Then Poppin just didn't want Shondex to grab a gun. Now this is what you'd expect from a bunch of ranked players, and collapses like these can lead to everyone tilting, wanting to FF, subscribing to my channel, but maybe Extra can bring it back? The last two players are distracted by the shiny Vandal, but it's Yoru. He can be anywhere with his gate crash.
Why are we pushing into this
We
line?
are just swinging right in.
What is going on, man?
Next up, Exter. And they win the round. All right.
It's another full buy versus full buy, and Ambrosier are tired of Exter having his way with B long. They're defaulting that way harder than you've ever seen before in their 3-1-1, while Envy have shifted the Reyna over to fight A instead of double door. And now with twice the smokes and a Sova, this should be Yoru's worst nightmare. The barriers fall, and after remembering what Exter did to them in round 2, Glyph smoke screens, Akron pulls back a ramp star, and pops a deep nebula. A pylon Welly's drone, and how is Exter supposed to get one?
Our drone is not going to be cleared. Extra. This guy crashes, making its way to where it needs to be, but of course he'll fight this.
He got his! See, by pathing around Pillar and dodging the drone, he made the offense think that he'd teleported out. You have to be super close to hear Yoru leave. So understandably, Satellite was caught off guard. Who sticks around after this much utility is being used? But Ambrosia countered Extra's rat play with Yoru's natural enemy. Good spacing. The count is now even, and Inspire tried helping his duelist by spamming through these smokes, but has to fall. With his spy cam, he can still hold long and, oh, never mind. Well, he knows his darts. Now, at the start of the round, Poppin was ready to help his A players fight for the space, but didn't have to use any utility. The only issue is that this left Art butt naked. But like I said, mid isn't the most important part of this map, dugout and elbow are. Now, that doesn't mean those always have to be your win conditions. See, Inspire's drop back to spawn to play off his trips, Poppin really only has to watch water, and with A main, Envy are in a hard to clear crossfire like we've seen before. With this space, the defense can gear up to retake A from 3 different chokes, but maybe that's predictable? Anyways, the offense feel like they've generated enough pressure on B and turned their sights to mid. Vice and Omen walk out of top mid and walk towards Art, while Akron places down a smoke for Street. This said smoke blocks vision from the connector and Street player, forcing the defense to commit 2 people, play inside or past it, or just ignore mid altogether. Lastly, Willie fires a recon bolt into A main and tags 2 defenders who were too busy playing War Thunder to shoot this dart. But here's the issue. Ambrosia are in a position to split A, but Sova doesn't feel confident enough to push main by himself with the spike. So he leaves to rejoin his team in mid, and Vice ults, but it misses half a main.
That direction.
God, that feels like a huge miss from Envy, not just being able to clear that recon. There's no flash, there's no excuse. Let it ping them out. Off angle there for Poppin is only good for 1.
Okay, well, never mind. See, because Poppin was in spawn, he was able to rotate early to flood in with Cainzera. Now, after tanking Glyph's paranoia, Ian hung back to beat off that pesky Sova, who should be pinching the area with his team. But during Glyph's 6 spray transfer, Envy saw all 4 players come in through Art, which means, despite being down a player and with these smokes, the defense have the offense pinched. Ambrosia tried to clear one side of the nebula, but, dude, Envy can be anywhere.
Because someone will be coming from A main.
You are divided.
Just a little peek from Inspire, very safe. Here comes the Cosmic Divide now from the attackers. This though allows Ion to get up right on the side.
One enemy remaining.
I'm being bored. Akron down. Inspire's gonna get there.
So, remember when Sova didn't feel confident in himself to go A main while his team was splitting A? Well, he should have stopped being a bitch. Because main was never cleared out, Ambrosia had major claustrophobia. You can't watch all 3 chokes at once. Then Akron's Cosmic Divide didn't help at all. It just allowed Ion to run up and swing when Ambrosia least expected it. When splitting a site, someone needs to do the splitting. Yeah, Sova had the spike, but just play patient and let the bulk of your team come through and absorb most of the attention. Glyph even wasted the best flash in the game. Combine it with Vice's ult, and that Steel Garden might have actually gotten some value. Especially if he just ulted 10 feet back, he would have gotten the entirety of A main. Or just use your bad Vice ult, flash, Sova kill. Easy! On Ambrosia's eco, Inspire busts out a new cam that I've never seen. It sees enough of Street, the B main entrance, and a sliver into Long. Neat. Then Cainzera insta-dry swung mid like a monkey and got one. Also neat. Then the weaker buy just didn't stand a chance against the rifles, and Inspire got to use his cool cam.
Inspire's, what a dastardly location for that camera. Well, he will be spotted out. Inspire.
That brings us to another full buy versus full buy, and Ambrosia need this one. If they lose, they have to save again, meaning they're just going to lose again. But, Envy have all 5 ults online. I guess it's 4 since Reyna's is just a glorified stim beacon. Regardless, this round's important, so both teams need good plans. In Envy's 2-1-2, Cypher's here is a safety valve for Yoru again, defending Long, and is also watching Street, while Reyna is actually flashing for her teammates, which can be strong, but something you'll never see in ranked. And now Ambrosia are tired of defaulting for 6 straight rounds and just want to go A. To do so, Omen immediately rips his paranoia, Sova's dart lands, and Astra's gravel starts sucking. But I kinda wish Ambrosia didn't just blow their best ability like that. Why not save it instead to help Yoru make space on site, since this is the only lane he has to worry about? But Teets, these ranked monkeys have been fighting up in A main every round. Isn't Omen's paranoia awesome for beating them back? It's so big and fast. It is, Jimmy, but there's better and cheaper ways to take this fight. Like, why not use an Astra Star and pull it back at the same time Vice throws her flash down? This creates a basically unbreakable, undodgeable, free flash. You can't shoot this thing if you can't see it. Then Yoru has a way easier time getting on site because you saved your blind. And now, maybe if you have a Jet, Raze, or Neon who can quickly follow up off this blind, then maybe. But how come I don't see teams do this default that costs you nothing more often? Whatever. What was Envy's plan? Well, because Ambrosia don't have any explosive duelists, and Ion wants to turn it having fun since he got stuck playing Astra, they plan to smoke and suck main to buy Ion time to move up, and for Poppin's dart to land, but Kane would use his Leer to protect it and get some scans off. But because of this flash, it didn't work. Now with A main, the attackers are going. Glyph sends out smokes for an A split. Why didn't we see these before? Okay, well, the the offense sort of stands still despite the smokes being placed, and then pylon another for art. I think Ambrosia are lost. The major problem is that because of this earlier leer from Cainzera, he's applying a fear debuff on Shondex, and he doesn't want to go. So as Cainzera pops his Empress, Glyph uses his ult to clear art. He spots Reyna, giving Shondex the confidence to finally move up, but dude, Exter never saw anything on B, Cainzera called out that mid's empty, and Inspire still hasn't seen anything. It is obvious the attackers are ending A, and there's a 4-stack to prove it. Then, with nothing to back it up, Welly starts firing his ult, and his team's going? Hey, bozos, your smokes are fading!
Cainzera would like you to think otherwise. Acronym down. That's not good. They've already lost to Astra so early on in this engagement. How the heck are they supposed to take this map control?
No.
Yeah, the Empress is getting rolling now. Kane eventually brought down, but not without finding his pound of flesh.
Okay, I don't need you guys thinking that Ambrosia are just a bunch of chumps, but after last round, I get it. The smokes went out too early, no pressure was made elsewhere. I mean, I guess they cut noise for a second, but then somehow the double controller comp didn't have smokes up for an execute, which led them to running into a jumbo crossfire. Just keep in mind that Ambrosia are a good team and have pushed Envy to their limit multiple maps now, and even won on Ascent. But after last round, Ambrosia take a timeout before they lose their own map pick. Smurfing in our games.
I hate Smurfs. Why won't Riot do anything about them?
Gosh darn it, I hate it when these people smurf in our elo. Get them out!
I'm going to end all Smurfs when I get off this game.
Now, what did they actually talk about? No clue. We probably won't see Ambrosia's true adjustments until they finally get some weapons. But I mean, Envy's thrown winnable rounds before. They could do it again. They're ranked players. And now in their 2-2-1, they're still in their typical Yoru fights long, and Reyna fights mid setup while Astra anchors A. Ambrosia, on the other hand, are set up in a 2-3 where Sova's gonna help Astra get set up with her Marshall, and these guys figure something out in mid. But wait, is that an Odin?
Get me out of here vibes, I think. Not been a comfortable curl at all for them so far. Oh, okay.
He did it again! Because Poppin is ripping his Odin into shops, Cainzera was able to find another first blood on top mid. And this LMG isn't even that bad on this map. Deny the plant on A, whatever this is in mid, or let it rip on B. This gun should be used more often. Now, with the first blood secured, it is apparent what Envy talked about in their timeout.
Guys, please stop f***ing throwing.
They don't want a repeat of what happened previously on Aniko and back down to help Yoru run long where the offense have droned and smoked deep. Welly rips a shock dart, breaks Inspire's cam, then fires his recon for sight, and attacks Exter. But who the hell's long? The defense don't have info anywhere, so Exter jumps into the open and barely spots Astra. But if the enemy smokes are just walking down long out in the open, odds are that their team is there with them. So you see Envy shift that way, and that's what Ambrosia want. They're headed A, but Cainzera wants to double check.
We're struggling with right now is breaking recons. Other than that, they're on
As soon as Reyna clears the air, you see Envy sprint back to A. But with 3 sheriffs, how is this even possible? And both of their smokes died? Ay, caramba! Now Cainzera is fiending over these ecos. He understands that the sheriff's half armor don't want anything to do with his sniper and must be headed to A. As the offense creep up, Cainzera gets posted. No smokes, no more smokes, no service.
Rounds. The sooner you use your ult, the sooner you can start building up the next one. It's a missed shot. It would have dealt Satellite a death blow instantly. Lear at the ready. Condex can't really play that corner, and there's Kane. It's his third with the Outlaw, and he wants more. He says, I'm done, folks! Here's the shorty! Stick that up your nose! We're able to deal with him desperately, just trying to fend him off, but he's down to 26.
30 seconds left.
The guy, Cainzera, like a force of nature. Like a morning star, someone who's just wound up and thrown into the midst of all these Ambrosia players. That's just brutal.
That embarrassment brings us to another full buy versus full buy, but Ambrosia have a sick B hit in store with 2 big ultimates online. And that's what good teams do. They have pre-planned strats for when these broken abilities become available to them. And now while they're going B, Envy have changed up their setup so that Inspire and Iron are anchoring, Reyna is doing her thing by double door, and Exter is soloing A main with a gate crash and out to help B in an instant. Which, against Ambrosia's execute, they're going to need. But the round starts pretty tame. Cainzera doesn't swing top mid this time, but instead is posted up on double door, expecting Ambrosia to punish. Instead, they've sent a gate crash down long, pull back a star, and when Satellite's TP gets deep enough, he activates his dimensional drift. He clears long, screens, sight, elbow. It is all empty. So Acreon lays out his Cosmic Divide so that his duelist can come out without being heard, but Inspire wants to flood.
Yeah, those corrections. Spot on. Satellite now. Dangerous dance, little do-si-do through the walls.
Satellite tried coming out behind the Astro Wall so Inspire couldn't hear him, but Yoru thought Cypher was going to try and sneak into this cubby. Regardless, Ambrosia's execute and these Razor Vines have locked Envy out of B, and Omen teleports into heaven, and the defense probably didn't hear it.
For Ambrosia. 6-round deficit.
The Glyph doesn't feel safe and has to get out, but the offense have to fight up. And this fact makes me think that Inspire might have gotten too greedy with this early flood. Ion has his Cosmic Divide. Why not play retake? Maybe because this 6 tripwire was still up? In order to break it, you have to expose yourself to this position. But the attackers can't play long. They'll get shut out. To start the retake, Exter enters his Dimensional Drift, spots Satellite, but Kane gets Welly instead and gets out. Satellite repositions into spawn, and Envy's ridiculous ranked retake begins.
Trying to make his way through tower, but X is elsewhere. Nice watching there from Shondex. That looked like it'd be a freebie. Look, here's this. Here's it all too well. It doesn't matter. Kane's able to dismiss away, dance the wall. This is kind of getting scary, but it's only popping left now. Hey, bro, you wake up. Give us a bit of a round. Sounded like getting the open hand might be...
Had Inspire stayed alive, or Extra focused on clearing sight before venturing to the other side of this Cosmic Divide, I think Envy convert that round. Add on whatever Kane Zera was doing, and this does look like a team of ranked players again. But Ambrosia's execute was clean. But can they get another without the luxury of ults? Well, this round, they're relying on their op and their initial 3-1-1. Because Envy have been aggressive throughout this game, as they should with the double duelist comp, Ambrosia want to punish these peaks with an operator of their own. In the meantime, Envy aren't getting that aggressive in their 2-1, I don't know where Astra's going, 1. Round 10 begins with an instant smoke for A main, a pullback ramp star, and a real smoke for sight. Welly activates his drone to clear long, while Kane and Exter are playing War Thunder again. By both of them playing screens, their plan is for one duelist to bait for the other, get out, and their teammate gets a bunch of kills since the offense thinks screens is clear. So once the Nebula pops, Exter jumps out for info, and baits out a shot from Satellite. This allows Kinzera to get on the line, but no one's peeking. Instead, the offense are now headed to A to push back any NC attackers. Before they start their default, Glyph sends over another dark cover to prevent the defense from clearing out any question marks they've created. Reyna doesn't want to get burst on, so she drops back into elbow. Vice then flashes mid, while her team has just cleared all of A main. This default is perfect. Question marks have been created on every important lane, forcing the defense into passive positions. Pylon Yoru's decoy strolling down A, and Ambrosia's decision is to split B. But time's running low, and they can't wait for their Yoru.
Hoppin is going to be the spotlight player here for Envy.
30 seconds left.
Sitting inside the smoke, calling all of this, trying to find the timing, gets ahead of that Razor Vine. He is slowed up, but he can stand still. What a flash! What a flash in the connector! Extra emerges, explodes, and Ambrosia now cut down.
Once Poppin knew the offense were running down street, Extra sent out his decoy to help his arena fight long, and then bounced his blindside to insta-pop on anyone in this lane. This is why you shouldn't take people off their comfort picks. Poppin swung with said flash, whiffed, but Extra got the third. And now that's okay. Time's almost up, and clearing this op out of elbow is going to be impossible.
Might have been hidden this whole time. I don't know if Kane can be ready for this. He might know now as Acronym fires a shot. Leah throwing at the ground, and Ion steps up. Capitalizes on the blind. Envy back to their winning ways.
Now, do you remember on the first round of this game when I was like, I'm gonna break down Inspire setup later? Well, now is later. And on Ambrosia's eco, they decided to slam A and run straight into him. First, this spy cam sees a sliver into both A main and Art, meaning no one needs to really watch either lane until this thing is snapped. And in order to break it, you're pretty much peeking into sight itself. Then you have this one way that allows Inspire to peek from dugout and fight the exec pretty safely. Both of these wires are next to impossible to break on the fly, and this Cage and Nebula allowed the defense to safely leak back out. I mean, how do you rush into this? But Ambrosia did well to try and counter. Their smokes were right for once to take dugout control, and the Paranoia Recon combo did push Inspire back initially. And Satellite's entry was nice by going out to default, this flower cleared backside, but the Flood plus the Neural Theft that allowed Inspire to spam, plus Kinzera running around with a shorty, plus a Harness Fury, was just too much to handle. Even Glyph's 2 kills from the aggressive teleport into the spawn smoke wasn't enough. And now for ranked players, this was a really well handled setup. Then to close out the half, Ambrosia had a nice B hit, where Vice's Steel Garden pushed the defense back, and Welly ripped his Harness Fury through Street in Heaven, taking down Inspire and chunking Exter. Then once Envy's flank went down, they were locked out of the post plant due to the utility the offense were able to save thanks to their ults. That ends the half 9-3. Now throughout this game, we've seen these ranked players work together like a well-oiled machine. Now it's time for offense, and this pistol's important. If Ambrosia win, their odds of coming back go up 33%. Riot showed us the stats. For this important round, Envy are faking a B default in their 1-4, while the defense are fighting A, anchoring B, and reacting in mid? They don't have a spy cam like Inspire did, but what are they gonna do if someone walks into art? Pistol round starts with a pullback start for ramp, smoke for deep, recon to clear most of long, and Exer sends his decoy down long while he grabs the ult orb. But in mid, Inspires used his spy cam to look down the barrel of art and flings a cage to block off double door. This default has given the green light for Cainzera to knife out down mid, while Satellite lobs a firework into the sky, but can't do much. So Glyph turns towards art and barely spots Reyna. But if Reyna's here, Satellite can get backstabbed, or double peeked. He has to do something.
Glyph tested early. Satellite, there's no guarantee.
Inspire knew that with Cainzera's timing, the street player had to push out, or he'd just fight with his Reyna. So just holding was the right play. And now that mid's been compromised, what did the defense do now? Reyna's walking down into water, and Crouch walks into Ambrosia's spawn? That is a ranked play. That should get punished. Remember when I said you really only need elbow and dugout? Well, what was Ambrosia's plan by only having one in mid? Envy had Poppin watching water. You don't need mid, but you can't leave it open like this. Now, what is Envy's plan? I have no idea, and neither do they. Cainzera is venturing through spawn, while Inspire wanders into art while 1 HP.
To get executed on by 3 different angles, potentially.
I find the solo Astra player the B side of the map.
What?
Yeah, I feel like if you're 1 HP, you should just go rejoin your team. But look at these two! Where are they going?
Right now.
Dude, honestly, I love Exeter's role in all of this. It will be too late to see everyone rotate off the side.
Well, that's one way to split B. And now with that timing, Poppin's making his way to A, while Yoru tried finding a rotate, but now he's coming too. But how do you even begin this retake? Especially when Reyna's still taking fights.
B side of the map though, still coming down long, and says, well, I'm bored. I want to go fight. Give me something to do. Promdeck's gonna be tapped down pretty low. Kane wins out that fight.
30
Should be able to
He just doesn't stop. Ian was even distracted by this aggressiveness. Now, peeking in this situation isn't too bad, as I think Cainzera was trying to make sure that Ambrosia didn't flood out. And at the start of the round, Poppin did drop him his ghost so Kane could have half armor. Might as well use it, take those fights. But the defense made it through heaven.
back up and still be fighting fit. Popping out of the side. That is stellar stuff. I heard the ding. And Glyph.
But before you go, make sure to check out today's sponsor, War Thunder, and take out your tilt on some tanks. Play now for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile using my link in the comments or description. Those of you who haven't played War Thunder yet, or returning after a break of at least 6 months, will receive a massive bonus pack on PC and consoles, including premium vehicles, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. Do it now.